Good morning and welcome to Treks Midday Bus with me Anna. Today on What Matters edition of it is health. Okay, we're talking about health related matters. Now during Ramadan, of course, many of us look forward to the vibrant Ramadan bazaars, preparing meals for iftar and hosting friends and family for open houses. But with so much food being prepared, displayed and shared, food safety becomes especially important. Am I right? Now from selecting safe food at the bazaar to storing leftovers properly and even preparing meals for sahur and the Hari Raya that's coming up, small decisions can make a big difference in preventing foodborne illness. So yeah, today we are talking about observe and select the right way to choose safe food during Ramadan. So joining us this morning is Nuraini binti Ghaifullah, Principal Assistant Director from the Food Safety and Quality Program at the Ministry of Health Malaysia. Puan, welcome to the studio.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yes, thank you so much for being here. Now, of course, she'll be sharing practical tips on what to look out for when buying food, preparing meals, and serving dishes safely during these festive periods. So, yeah, if you want to also catch us visually, we are live on Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok at TRAXXfm Official. So, if you have any questions for our guest today, you can put it over there. So, Puan, let's get right into it. You know, when we were talking off air about visiting a Ramadan bazaar. You've been to a Ramadan bazaar lately.
Yep.
I have not because I have given up on it. Oops, don't be like me. But yeah, what are the three primary visual indicators that a stall is prioritizing food safety over speed?
Okay. Thank you so much for the question. When every time we visit food stall or especially bazaar, the first thing that we need to look for is at the handlers, at the food handlers. Are they wearing the proper protective clothing, PPE, what we normally call it? So it is actually in the law that they need to put on a proper protective equipment. Yes, PPE. And then, of course, we have to look at the food. Are the food protected? So if we see that the vendors or the sellers are using tongs or gloves or any kind of utensils to transfer the food or to pack the food, then that means these vendors, they really put food safety ahead of speed.
Yeah.
And plus, if those sneeze guard.
Yes.
Yeah, the one that we always see in K-drama, Korean
Yeah.
drama. Okay, those are actually very good to prevent the saliva whenever you talk and coughing and all that. So, and also separation of duties. Who handles food? Who handles the money?
Yes, because I have seen it visually. The person who handles the food also is taking the money.
Yeah. No, that is a no. But luckily nowadays, most of them are going cashless.
Yes. Oh, that is a very good option.
Yeah. True. And then, of course, the time temperature management, whether or not they are being kept in a proper temperature.
Yep.
So for myself personally, whenever I go to a bazaar, I will choose food that is cooked on site.
Okay.
Such as the mi lamba, murtabak and all that, because the time to eat from the time I buy it,
yes,
to the iftar is short.
Yes.
Rather than those...
Something that's prepared earlier, right?
Yeah.
You don't know how long it's been prepared, how long it's been sitting there.
Yeah. And sometimes it's exposed.
Yes, exactly. Yes, I understand. Now, of course, if we're talking about leaving food on the table, especially for guests during an open house or iftar, right? Because we know people at home prepare meals for iftar and all that. So how long is too long before the food becomes risky to eat? And what are the signs that it's time to put it back in the fridge or dispose of it or reheat it and etc.?
Okay, so we know that we are of warm climate, right?
Yep.
So food get bad faster in warm climates.
Okay.
So normally during room temperature, the food should not be let out for more than 2 hours if it's not heated.
Okay.
If it's put on a food heater, then it can goes up to 4 hours.
All right.
Yeah. After 4 hours, if it's not finished, it's either you reheat it or you keep it in the fridge.
Yeah.
Or if you look at it, the see, smell, and taste. If it's give all the red flags, when in doubt, throw it out.
Yeah. I mean, I have a question. I'm not sure if it's part of the question, but I just want to ask,
Okay.
sometimes I know a lot of, my colleagues and peers and friends, they tend to buy food for their iftar like maybe around 3-4 p.m. or during lunchtime, right? Because obviously, we are traveling back from home. We don't have time to buy food, during our commute.
Indeed.
So how about that? So they get the food around 3-4 p.m. or during the lunchtime, and then of course the food is just sitting there with us, and then they get home around like 5-6 p.m. in the evening, and then iftar is about 7-ish, right? 7:29, 7:30-ish. So what about that process? What they should do once they reach home? What they should do with the food, and like how it should be kept properly and all that?
Okay. When we buy food earlier, 3 o'clock or during lunchtime, first we need to look at what kind of food that we bought. Okay, and then after we bought it, do we keep it in the fridge?
Yeah.
I think in most pantry in offices they have fridge, right? So it's a good idea to keep it inside the fridge. Of course, it won't be the same.
Yes,
the taste won't be the same, but it's better to be cautious than to be sick.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So don't forget to take to bring it back with you whenever you go back. And then as soon as you reach home, if it's already time for iftar, you can always pop it in the microwave and heat it up. Or if it's still sometimes, maybe you can put it in a chiller or in the fridge until it's time for iftar.
Yeah.
So it's all about the right temperature to keep. If it's ready to eat food with proteins like fish or meat and poultry, then you need to keep it in a freezer.
Yeah, that's better, right? Now, of course, before we go for a break, during Ramadan, food is, of course, like I mentioned, is often cooked early in the afternoon but eaten much later at sunset, right? So what are the common mistakes people make when leaving food out? So, and how can we avoid these mistakes?
Okay, during Ramadan, when we're preparing food, of course, the first thing to do is it's imperative to ensure that the food the high level of hygiene is observed, like washing hands, make sure that everything is clean, separate raw meat and raw vegetables. These are the first defense to ensure that the food will be safe later on. So the most common mistakes when people preparing for iftar is they keep food in large and deep pots which trap heat and moisture. If you notice, if you put the lid on, the steam will will create on top of the lid, and it causes condensation to drip back. And of course, preparing food far in advance without proper storage and leaving food at room temperature. These are common. So to prevent this, we can use the cool fast methods, which means that you transfer food from the big pot to a smaller container. And this is in order to increase the surface area for cooling. Can cover the containers loosely until the steam stopped. Can also prepare the ingredients beforehand. I think there were some videos in TikToks that shows that housewife, they prepare the ingredients beforehand, all the garlics, all the onions. Even you can buy it in the shop now. So these can be freezed in small portions. So when it's time to cook, you can just microwave it and then put all the other ingredients. I think that's a good idea.
Yes, I see a lot of people doing that. You prepare the ingredients maybe in the afternoon or whatnot. You keep it in the fridge, and then when it's time to cook, maybe like 1 hour, 2 hours before, and you take everything out and then you put it
Yeah,
together. Yeah.
it's reduced the whole cooking process time.
Yes,
Yeah, you don't have
exactly.
to cut. You don't have to quarter the potatoes and all that.
Yes, exactly. Now, today on What Matters Health Edition, we are discussing how to observe and select safe food during Ramadan, whether at bazaars, at home, or during open house gatherings. We'll continue our conversation with Puan Nuraini from the Ministry of Health after this short break, where we'll also talk about leftovers, food storage, and avoiding cross contamination in the kitchen. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back. Welcome back to Health on Tracks with me, Anna, on Tracks Midday Buzz. Today we are speaking with Puan Nuraini binti Ghaifullah from the Ministry of Health, Food Safety and Quality Program, sharing useful tips on how we can keep our food safe during Ramadan and the upcoming Hari Raya celebrations. Now, Puan, let's get back into it. Now, if we finish our meal, of course, there's always sometimes there's leftovers, right? How can we decide whether it is safe to keep our sahur, which is the pre-dawn meal, or if it has been sitting out in the warmth for too long to be saved?
Okay, in this case, we have to look at the time and temperature metrics. Okay, if the food has been sitting on the table for the entire duration of a 3 hours iftar, it has already exceeded the safe window. So then you have to use the see, smell, and taste.
Okay.
Yeah. If like I said, if it's all red flags, when in doubt, throw it out. And for sahur, it's safe, only safe food that was portioned out. I mean, if you already buy your food, maybe you can halve it. One half you go and keep it, and another one is for your iftar.
Yeah.
Okay. If it's set through the whole dinner, we are afraid that the bacterial load may be too high.
Yes.
To be made safe for reheating. That said, I think it is highly recommended not to leave any leftovers.
Of course.
But if you already purchased food, especially for sahur, put in the fridge as soon as you reach home.
Yes, that's the best thing to do, right? Now let's talk about Raya preparations. Of course, we are about 2 weeks away now. We are, if I'm not mistaken, we are wait, I forgot. I lost count. What day of Shawwal is it today? 18, 19?
20?
20? 20, yes,
20 or 21st.
All right. So we are really close to Raya now. And of course, one of the famous food prepared is rendang and ulam, right? So yeah, it is often prepared simultaneously. So how can we ensure that the bacteria from raw meat do not migrate to the fresh greens, of course?
Okay. In this case, separation of the raw materials, the utensil use is very important. So we can have a color-coded chopping board, for example. So the green chopping board is for greens.
Yes.
And the red chopping board is for meat. Okay. And all the other utensils, if possible, don't share the same knife. Don't share the same basins and all that. And in terms of workflow, what to prepare first. Okay, in this case, to ensure that your vegetables are not contaminated with juices from the raw meat. Okay, prepare the raw vegetable first.
Yeah.
Okay, after that, put it away and then start the meat. Okay, and then this is to ensure that the meat juice won't get into the vegetables. And also, the most important thing, the person who prepare everything, the hand must be clean.
Yes, exactly.
Always wash hands with soap for 20 seconds after touching raw food before touching anything else.
Yes, exactly. I totally agree when you talked about, having different chopping boards, utensils, right? So my mom practices this. So anything that she uses for meat, it doesn't touch anything else. So from storing it, from the knife you use it, and to the cutting board, everything is different for meat.
That's a good practice.
And then for vegetables, and I thought she's being too much, but obviously I get why she did that, right? Because it's to disallow cross contamination and all that, right? So yeah, that's something you can practice for your Raya preparations. And of course, with the influx of hampers and bulk buying for Raya, what specific physical signs on a can or pouch should trigger an immediate do not select decision, even if the expiry date is still valid?
Okay. For any packaged food, always as a rule, check the expiry date. That's the first thing to do. But if, let's say, the date is still within consume time, you can ignore the date if you see if the can or the bottles are bulging or swelling. Okay, it means there's a gas production from the reaction from microorganism such as Clostridium botulinum. These are nasty guy, and you don't want to mess with Clostridium
Yes,
botulinum.
yes.
And then if they have they can have dents, deep dents, especially on the seam. Okay, because this may cause micro leak. You know, you can't see the holes, but it's there, and the bacteria, they can get into the food. Or if it's rusty, even small spots can create microscopic pinholes. Or if the packagings are leaking or soiled, like sticky or stained, that means it is likely being compromised.
All right. So yeah, those are really good advices over there. Today on Health on Tracks, we are speaking to Puan Nuraini binti Ghaifullah from the Ministry of Health, Food Safety and Quality Program, sharing useful tips on how we can keep our food safe during Ramadan and the upcoming Hari Raya celebrations. Now, after this short break, we'll talk about buffets, festive ingredients, drinks from Ramadan bazaars, and safe ways to thaw frozen food when preparing meals for large gatherings. For now, back to more music right here on Tracks Midday Buzz. Welcome back to Health on Tracks with me, Anna. Yesterday we are speaking to Puan Nuraini binti Ghaifullah from the Ministry of Health's Food Safety and Quality Program, and we are talking about observe and select the right way safe food. Yes, because it is Ramadan and soon we are approaching Raya. So yeah, it's all about that. Okay, now Puan, when attending a large, iftar buffet or an Eid, or Raya open house, how can you tell if the hot dishes, for example, like gulai, and cold dishes are being held at safe temperatures?
Okay, for hot dishes, it's easy, whether it's steaming or not. Okay, that is a good indication of whether it is in the right temperature, or whether it is put on a chafing dish that have heater underneath it. So the food should be steaming and not just sitting.
Yeah.
Okay, but sometimes when we talk about open house, right, Raya open house, and well, we have to understand that sometimes this chefing dish food is quite expensive, and then they might not have it. So maybe the host can put out small serving. So whenever the gulai is finished, so you can top it up.
Yes. Instead of putting the entire thing, right?
Yeah. Then let it sit for hours. Okay, and for cold dishes, it's quite easy because you can put it in a bowl of ice, and you separate. If you have santan, you have coconut milk, or you have grated coconut, you can separate first. So the guest will just take the food, and whether how much coconut milk they want to put, how much coconut grate they want to put, it's up to them.
Yeah.
So rather than
Mixing it all together.
yeah,
right?
because coconut milk and grated coconut are highly perishable. So it's easy to go bad very, very fast.
I see.
Yeah.
I did not know that. That's something I learned today. Maybe that's why I get every time. I love coconut. Anything with coconut in it. So maybe that's why I do get stomach upsets pretty often. Maybe I did not know that one.
Yeah,
Okay.
maybe sometimes all the kueh with grated coconut like kasui.
Yeah.
I notice nowadays that people are more aware. So they separate the coconut, the grated
see.
coconut with the kasui.
Okay.
So that is a good practice anyway.
Yes, that is a great practice. Thank you for letting us know that. Now, of course, when shopping for festive baking ingredients, what is the difference between a use by date and a best before date? Interesting.
Okay, so a lot of people confuse between these two.
Okay.
Okay, I have my own way of knowing whether this is for food safety or for quality.
Okay.
If I see used by, I would think in my head, if I consume something that's exceed the use by, I will die.
Oh, wow, okay. That's a bit extreme, but okay.
Yeah, because it kind of give you that alertness, So use by is about the safety of the food. Okay, so this is like the perishable food like milk or fresh meat or dairy products. Okay, so if the date is already past the use by, it means it's not safe for consumption.
Okay.
So eat at your own risk.
Yes, definitely.
And best before is mostly for quality.
Okay.
So the food is still safe to eat, but it may not taste very good.
Yes.
May lose its flavor or crunchiness. You know what we always call masuk angin.
Yes.
And maybe the color will be, discolorations. So these are more towards quality. Yeah.
I see. Now, wow, thank you for that. Now I know. So use by the next day if I eat it, I'll die. I want to use it safe. Best before I can still still consume it, but it may not be up to a certain quality of that specific item, right? Now, moving on, colorful iced drinks like air balang are Ramadan staples. Of course, I've been seeing so many of it, so many colors nowadays.
Yeah.
So yeah, what should we look for at this air balang before buying to ensure the drink is safe to consume?
Okay, first of all, always look at the food handlers, whether they are wearing their proper PPE. And also look at the ice quality. You can easily know whether they use the crushed ice or the tube ice or the block ice. So the block ice is actually no for Aibalang.
Interesting. Okay.
Because the handling of block ice is very hard to handle it
All right.
hygienically.
Okay.
So it may be a good idea to go for crushed ice, cube ice.
All right.
And also the ladle. The ladle scoop should not touch the liquid actually, but we always see that it's already in the it's already in the water, right?
Yes.
So it should be stored in different, or put in different containers. But yeah, if you are very confident in the cleanliness of it, well, be my guess. I guess. But the ladle, if it's clean, I think it's
and definitely they shouldn't be mixing those ladles with other drinks, right?
Yeah.
So it has to be one ladle for one drink. It shouldn't you take all the drinks with the same ladle. Oh my goodness.
True.
Yes.
And then the condensations. So the container should be clear of debris, and the surrounding area should not have standing sugary water, which might attract flies and bees. So that is one indication of whether the place is clean or not. If you have flies and bees buzzing around.
Now, one final question before we wrap our conversation. Preparing for a large, Raya crowd often involves thawing kilograms of frozen chicken or beef, right? So, which common thawing method is actually a high-risk practice, and what is the gold standard method for safe thawing?
Okay, thawing meat on the kitchen counter. Okay, that we do. All of us do that, right? So it's actually a high-risk practice.
Okay.
Because the counter, our kitchen is not a cold storage.
Yes, it's
at room temperature. So the outside of the meat, they're entering the danger zone while the middle is still frozen. So you have a look at it and it's almost thawed, but inside it's still frozen. That's why sometimes when we hear cases like fried chicken. Fried chicken, it's still red, still bloodied inside. So this is one of the reasons. Because it's still frozen inside, but very nice outside. So they decided to cook it.
Oh, now I know why. I did not know why. Okay.
Yeah, so thorough thawing is very important. So the gold standards that we always advocate is to do the refrigerator thawing. You take it from the freezer and you put it in the chiller. Maybe a night before, you want to cook it for iftar. So during sahur or before sahur, you take it out from the freezer and you put it in the chiller. But make sure that it's in a protected container.
Yes.
Just don't leave the chicken as a chicken.
Yeah.
And let the juice go everywhere.
Yeah.
And also there's another tip for faster and safer thawing is to cut the meat into smaller pieces.
Yes.
And then freeze them either in a thin, flat or individual portion and vacuum seal bags, the Ziploc, to maximize the surface area for faster or even thawing. This is actually to ensure that whenever you take it out from the freezer, you have ample time to thaw it.
Yes, very practical and useful tips here by Puan Nuraini. Thank you so much for all those tips. Before we let you go, do you have anything else to add, Puan?
The see, smell and taste or feel, it's actually, a fancy word of saying the sniff test. Okay?
Yeah.
You rely, this is the first defense, your first line of defense to decide whether something should be in your plate or in the bin. Okay? Especially if it's been sitting in the fridge past of its best before date. Okay, you should be looking for fuzzy mold, smell, the sour scent or feeling if the texture has gone slimy. And if you're adventurous, you can taste it a bit.
Yep.
But at your own risk.
Yes.
Yeah. So, yeah. As a rule of thumb, food that is been inside your refrigerator more than 48 hours, for me, it's safe to throw it out.
Throw it out away, yes.
Because you're not going to eat it.
Exactly. Yes, thank you so much, Puan Nuraini. Yes, I was speaking to Puan Nuraini binti Ghaifullah, the Principal Assistant Director of the Food Safety and Quality Program of Ministry of Health. We were talking about, yes, having safe food, right, during the month of Ramadan, how you should select your drinks, your food in Ramadan bazaars, and how you should prepare for iftar, sahur, and of course for Raya open houses that's coming up very, very soon. So yeah, if you missed any of the interview today, you can catch it of course on Facebook and YouTube at TRAXXfm official. Now we got the news coming up in about 9 minutes, and then I'll be back for the third hour of Trax Midday Buzz.